Hello
Nice.
and welcome. My name is Neil Thrussell, and I'm excited to have on Master Bobby Triantafillou.
Triantafillou,
And
yes.
and Master Bobby is the master of the school of martial arts that I attended. He's a father of two wonderful girls, and he's martial artist teacher and competitor. So welcome, Master Bobby.
Thank you. Just call me Bobby. That's fine. We're
Yeah,
not training. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm afraid that if I say something bad, I'll get it on the mats. No.
All right.
um, so Bobby, I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you to go back to a time in your life, a much younger version of you. Could be
Yeah.
junior high, high school, college, whatever, and reflect on what you think success or what you thought the younger Bobby thought success was.
Well, as a young man, I always wanted to be in an industry where I could help people. Um, so I always wanted to either be a police officer, as a lot of young boys want to be for the action and what they see on TV. They want to be a police officer. That was part of it. But a big part of it is that I did want to help people. I always felt that I saw a lot in my life growing up, and um, I knew there was a lot of injustices, and I did want to become a police officer at the beginning, and somehow I thought success was making a lot of money as well, and but those two jobs don't go hand in hand. Martial arts did become my passion at 9 years old, and I also wanted to be a martial arts instructor. So my vision didn't really change much from then to now. I did, go towards a path of wanting to become a police officer. Decided for different reasons not to, and then when I was 18 or 19, about 19 years old, I think I really was drawn to martial arts and wanted to make that a career, whether it made me money or not. At that point in my life, the income was not important.
That's wonderful. So let's go to this. So was it all of a sudden at 18 or the 9 year old that you were just all of a sudden one day you woke up and you knew or you thought you knew that this is really cool and this is what I want to do? Or was there a longer, because parents, as much as we love our parents, there was our parents could have said to us, Bobby, you should be a police officer. There's more money than martial arts. Bobby, you should do this. Was there this kind of influence in your life, or did you just know?
Well, my parents really never pushed me towards a career. They were restaurant owners. They definitely didn't want me to go into that industry because they saw the life of the long days and very very late nights. And I was brought up in that industry, and I didn't want to be in that industry either. But of course, they suggested maybe you should do this or that, whatever. But I always had a passion in martial arts, and my father actually said maybe you should open up a martial arts school in Greece. There's not much there for martial arts, and that excited me. And my mom always encouraged me to continue doing martial arts and fulfill that passion, and eventually just became I was drawn to it, and it was a long progression, with other things in my mind. Maybe I should do something that will make me more income or whatever. And I think the turning point was after I was finished with college. I did marketing management, business administration in Mount Royal. And when I was finished, I got offered a job as a manager, assistant manager at Cineplex Odeon. Um, and I did my interviews, everything. They were going to hire me. And then my master, Grandmaster Yoon, he offered me a job here at the martial arts school, and he said, "No, I don't think I can pay you that much, but I know you'll love this job much more." And like I said, at that time, income wasn't a factor, and then I thought about it. It was one day. It took me a day to think about it, and I got back to him and I said, "Yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to work here." So that's and then the rest is history. I started working here full time.
So you're at a choice point, like the using the metaphor of a knife. You could
Yeah.
go to money, or you could go to something that paid less, but was something more inclined. So was it that you were following more of your passions than the money? Was that what put
100%.
you over?
Yeah, passion. Money was not passion. I knew I was still living home, so I my meals cooked for me.
Uh-oh. This is not good. We just lost um master, we just lost Bobby. This is not good. Oh, yeah. Well, we've just lost Bobby. He was talking about that he was following a passion as opposed to the money. So I don't know where and what happened. There we go. We'll get him back in there.
Hey, I don't know what happened there. Could have been my
Uh,
stream. I'm not sure.
yeah, I suspect you're on wireless.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've had problems with wireless. Anyways, so you alluded to that you chose a passion rather than the chase of money. Well, and now, and I,
Better.
that's
They're back.
better.
Yeah. I think it's the shop internet. It's not looking very well.
Oh well, it's all good. So, what would you define? Put a if you were to define what success meant to you now,
Yeah.
what is success to the Bobby that's now at its current age? He's got two beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. He's got the house and everything. What is success to you now?
Definitely balance. I think success to me is balance. I think in my younger years, in my 20s, I was really focused on martial arts and a little too focused on martial arts. And some days it was crazy. Like even I remember in a snowstorm, living in Tuscany and needed to commute to the Northeast. I, uh, my car, I couldn't get my car out. I was about to walk to the studio to make sure I got there. So I was that ingrained, focused into getting my job done and making sure I don't disappoint any of my students or the school. So then I was too deep into the thinking too much about my martial arts, about myself. And then once I got married, had kids, and my focus split definitely. I try to put more focus into my family than my job, and I think that's what it's all about. And my job is important to me, and it is my passion. But there's nothing that's going to beat the love of my family ever, right? So
Absolutely. And for those viewers, whether or listeners, um, Bobby is a passionate teacher, and when he's on the mats and he's teaching, his sole focus is to bring these young adults, these kids or adults, to the best of their abilities. He just just to keep raising them and get the best performance out of them. And whatever technique and tools he needs, Bobby is not afraid to go to that. So that's what I truly appreciate about you, Master Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you, Neil.
And so pick somebody that's had really, we're not going to define success, but to get somebody that's achieved more success than us, and or that could be the pinnacle of success. What do you think that they've had to do or bring into their life to get them to this level of high level of success? An athlete, a rock star, or whoever that you think has reached high levels of success?
You know, um, when you ask that question, if you asked me a few years ago, maybe I would have had a good answer or an answer for you. But I found that sometimes when you look deep into somebody's life, nobody really has the success that you define as success. Do you know what I mean? It's so I look at different people for different attributes. For example, my martial arts master for his his dedication in martial arts when he was younger, and then I would look at, for example, my wife and the type of person she is, and that's why I'm with her. So sometimes I look at celebrities, and for example, I look at honesty, which is very important. How people became successful through honesty. For example, Joe Rogan. I know he's kind of controversial, but I think he comes through to me as honest, no matter what he says. In his heart, he's honest, and then he's not afraid to admit that he's wrong at the end. So those kind of attributes I define as success, and also people who look at their passion and really do a job because they're passionate about it, um, and then everything just falls into place, I think. And if they really continue, if people quit too early and say maybe I should just get a regular 9 to 5, those people I don't think will success and will reach success in this unless they're very lucky and it comes quick to them. So I think yeah, there's a lot of people out there that of course I look up to for different attributes. A lot of different martial artists and a lot of different business people, speakers, but ultimately, I think everybody has a different view of what success is, and I definitely think it's the balance that I have that I view as success.
Wonderful. And yeah, so let's pick Joe Rogan.
Sure.
So you said it's his honesty that you appreciate. So
Mhm.
let's just not pick on, but what do you think he had to do to keep being in integrity and being so honest? Was it through perseverance? That what was that you think that kept him going to be? Because if we measure his success on his honesty, what do you think that he needed to do to keep that or to be that?
Just stay real. I think all the people that he has on his podcast, he just talks to them like a person, and not like he doesn't put anybody on a pedestal, and he doesn't expect to be put on a pedestal. And he just I think he just keeps it real. And there's a lot of people like Lex Friedman. There's Jocko. Like there's a lot of people that just listen to them, and they just keep it real, no matter what. And that's what I appreciate. And it's hard to do. It's harder than a lot of people think to keep things real, especially when you're wrong on a subject, and then you have to admit that you're wrong. It's tough. It's tough to come out of that hole and have people have people understand your ideology and why you change your mind, right?
Wonderful, and thank you. So what you're saying is for him to be in integrity and to be his honesty, that it can be too hard at times. It can be. So what so what the success and just rolling it out even being broader is success doesn't always necessitate or equate to something being easy. So if your success, for you to be a good parent, it's not, at times it's not an easy job. There are some hard choices and hard decisions.
Sure.
And as to for success is people to be successful in whatever way we define success, I think it means that they need to do what's hard and keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. I would say so. But at the same time, Neil, I think just being yourself as well, not trying to be somebody else. That's very important.
And absolutely, and we know, and that we know because of societal pressures, that that there's pressures to be for you to conform to whatever, or
Yep,
me to conform. So
hundred
being
percent.
ourself can be difficult at times. And
Yep,
you teach young kids, and you deal with it all the time, where
yep,
society has got them to conform to something and they've not been themselves.
100%. Yeah, yeah. Especially with the recent pandemic. I think I was telling the kids the other day that a lot of kids they seem to have lost their confidence, and I mean they're not to blame at all. It's just that they were away from school, they had limited contact with friends and extended family, and to gain all that confidence back and be themselves, just to like portray themselves out to the world again, was a little difficult for children. I think martial arts is a good avenue to start, with many different paths and avenues. But martial arts is definitely a good avenue to have have a kid in to gain confidence and start to understand themselves better.
And to piggyback on that, I think it's a great avenue for, it doesn't matter how big and old the kid is. If a
Mhm.
60-year-old kid needs to come, like it's a great avenue for there's so many great benefits to martial arts. And
Sure.
oh my goodness, once again, I have to say, I've said it every interview, how
Yeah.
did the time go so quickly? We're now at
You,
20
you
minutes.
need to do 4-hour interviews.
Absolutely. And I I want to thank you, but is there anything
Yes.
that you would like, words of wisdom that you would like to leave our current viewers and our viewers and listeners on replay with?
Yeah, just I'd say one of our young people's bill responsibilities is to be. We have it up on our wall, and we have 12 bills of responsibility. And I think one that rings very true to me is do your work to the best of your ability, and another one is to be honest in everything you say and do. I think if you do that, true success will come.
So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day, and
Thanks, Neil.
thank you for
The
being part
pleasure.
of this.
Thank you so much, Neil.